Next update here has to do with the family. All right, so here we have pictures of my wife and I together. Today, I actually wanted her to come and join us in this episode for a part of it at least, but she's not feeling well. She has a stomach bug, not feeling well, and so she's not able to join us live for this. But if you watch the video and you want, leave a comment if you think it would be a good idea, you'd like to see Jerry V, my wife, in the next month when we do an update like this, leave a comment. To say something to that effect. Let us know that you'd like to see Jerry V, and we'll be sure if enough people leave a comment, I think she'll be motivated to join in. She's usually a little timid about joining in on the podcast or any kind of video thing because English is her third language. It's not her first language. It's her third language. Her third tongue is English, and she's a little insecure about that still, even though she speaks really well, but she does get things backwards once in a while, or she uses the grammar of the Philippines or the grammar of Italian and puts it into English, and it sounds different maybe. She's a little hesitant to join us, but if you encourage her, maybe she'll be willing to join and jump in for a little bit. In any case, this is a photo of us together. This was Mother's Day, which was in the month of May here in Italy, and also her with the two kids, little Beatrice. You see her now. She's 7 months now. Cornelius, 5 years old, and they're having fun together. She's now learning to play with Chichi a little bit, pull his hair, things like this. And this is a moment we took on the Lord's Day, Mother's Day in the afternoon, took a walk downtown, and just had a moment together, had the camera with us, and snapped a couple photos as well. So here we are, just sharing that with you, making that available. Another slide, though, here is just a couple updates on the family and what's going on with us. We've had numerous sick days this past month. Cornelius, he would be 1 week at the nursery school and then 1 week not at the nursery school because he had a cold. I think he went 10 days with a runny nose, 10 days where it's just pouring out of his face, the snot and all this, and just was feeling terrible. And then I'm trying my best not to get it. Jerry V had it for a little bit. I had a sore throat for a little bit. It was one of us one time after another. And now just the other day, also Beatrice had the runny nose. And again today, she has the runny nose. So we've been battling colds a lot during this last season, during this last month. And part of that, I'm convinced also, is because the weather has been absolutely terrible here in our region this past month, this whole spring. Really, we'd have days where it was proper spring weather. You want to put on a t-shirt, the sun is shining, the weather's beautiful. The very next day, you got to put on a jacket. It's cold, it's raining, it's windy. We've had a lot of rain and a lot of unusually cold days, and I think the flip-flopping of the weather is what's causing a number of people to get sick with the cold this year, including our family. So we spent a lot of time trying to recover and get over colds this past month. And Cornelius at the nursery school has been in and out, hasn't been able to get consistent there. But now summer has finally hit here in Italy. The weather is now actually hot. I brought out my first time a pair of shorts today. You don't know, I'm actually wearing shorts with a nice sports jacket here, but I have shorts on underneath. Something you can do when you do things like this through video, for those who watch. But yeah, the good weather's finally here, and things are getting exciting, and that's good. It's relief. We had the Mother's Day outing. I mentioned that. Here we have a picture of Cornelius. Also, he's now learning to roller skate. So just normal family stuff. Yes, we're missionaries. Yes, we're spending ourselves for the proclamation of the gospel, making of disciples, planting churches. But we have normal life like anyone else, where we do family things and we raise our kids. Our first mission field is always here in the family itself, discipling our kids, teaching them the word of the Lord, teaching them what it means to be a Christian, and so on. And in this case, also, I'm teaching my son how to roller skate. And he'd probably be better by now, but because of all the bad weather and being sick, he's a little behind with that. But we're going to continue it, Lord willing, again, and get him learning how to do that. So that's been exciting. Here's a little picture of Bea, on that Mother's Day outing, the two of them together. She's a real doll. She really is. Real cute baby. I'm going to share a short video clip in just a second, just to show two things with the family. A trip that we had to take to Milan, as well as Cornelius when he first learned to ride the bike. So stay tuned for that. We're going to see that in just a minute. But a couple things here that we have written up here just to remind me of some things we can talk about related to the family, how we're doing. Again, yeah, Chichi's skating. He learned to ride the bike. Big news. He could have learned it, I think, sooner by now, but because of the bad weather, it's just been delayed. But he picked it up last Sunday, and now he's having a blast, going wild, riding all over the place. Really exciting. He's making new friends at the asilo. There's a kid that lives right next door almost here in our neighborhood, and they hang out, and her mom and dad bring the kids over, and they play here in the yard. and a good friend, good kid, and we're spending a lot of time with them. So we're thankful for that too, new friends. My blood pressure was something I mentioned in the last update that we did related to, the month of May, the missions moment for May. I was in the hospital, if you remember, and I had the IV thing hooked up to me. They did all these different tests on me. And nothing has changed with that. I've been feeling, generally speaking, better. I am monitoring my blood pressure still a little bit. I have to watch what I'm eating because some things I notice will make that blood pressure go up. I still have to get this test done where they put me on a bike, but it's not so easy to get that appointment. I have to wait 30 days, and then I can finally get on this, do a stress test on a bike where they see how my heart is during physical activity. So continue to pray for that if you could, and we'll see how that goes. But that'll be the next step for that. But thankfully, everything seems to be okay, and I'm able to do what I need to. I just have to be a little more mindful of my heart condition now, and pay attention to that, and make sure I'm taking care of myself better. The last thing we'll mention here related to the family before we see those couple videos is this here. We're considering our next trip to the USA. We had a good board meeting not long ago, and the guys, some of them recommended consider coming maybe in August, since it's a downtime in Italy. Get out of all the stuff over there and just come be among the people here in the States. So we're considering August. If not August, maybe in the fall or maybe next spring. We'll see how things pan out. But as the director for the mission here, and we want to get there and also promote opportunities for the churches to get involved in the mission here, to come next summer and serve, to do numerous different evangelism outreaches and things like this. So pray for us for that as well. We're considering when should that next trip be. It may be August. It may be in the fall time, perhaps. More people might be available to meet up in the fall. And if we went in the States in August, maybe people are out of town and stuff. So it may not be that great. But we're considering that. That's the next thing there. Okay, let me share. This is little Chi-Chi now. We're going to share this video. This will be a little Chi-Chi learning to ride the bike. Just something for you to see a little bit of us and what we're doing. If you follow us on the social media, this was posted also there already. So you could see it there. But for those who don't follow social media, but you get this update or you see this video or tune into the podcast, you can hear and see what's going on. Keep going, yeah. You got it. Literally his first ride right here, his first moments when he finally got it. And you can hear his excitement as he goes. Up, up. Up. Perfect. Okay. Yep, that's Chi-Chi on his bike. First time, big moment. I'm so glad I was able to capture that on video. It's such an amazing thing today that we can capture things on video and years later look back and see and remember moments. Really is an astonishing thing when you think about it, what we can do today with the technology. Praise God, he's learned it. He was frustrated there, actually. It took him a while to figure out how to get it pedaling and get it going. The trick we learned to help him learn how to balance was we took the pedals off, because here what they do is they have these pedalless bikes that come with no pedals on them just for learning how to balance. And real little kids, like 2-3 years old, are learning how to ride bike because of these kind of bikes with no pedals. We didn't get one of those, but we did take the pedals off of his bike, and he learned how to balance that way. And then we just put the pedals on, and the only thing I had to learn was how to get it going, how to pedal and stay balanced and pedal and keep balanced. But he was frustrated at first, and he actually had a moment there where he did something bad. He threw the bike down in frustration. We actually had to take him in the house, discipline him, correct him, and then pray for him and his heart. And afterwards, then we had an ice cream, and we went back out, and he picked it up right away with the Lord's help, and enjoyed that moment there as he was finally doing it. And again, now he's going all over the place, sweating like crazy and enjoying himself a lot. Another video here, though, that I want to share. This was our trip to Milan, where we had to get Jerry V's passport renewed. And I'm not going to show the first part because it's just me talking, and I don't really want to hear myself. But what we talk about in this first minute of the video is simply the reality that one part of missions is actually there's many times where you're not doing proper ministry, in the sense you're not evangelizing, you're not making disciples and doing the stuff to get churches going and all this, or pastoral ministry and things like this, preaching ministry. There are many times in cross-cultural missions when you have to dedicate entire days to doing things like this, renewing passports, getting your visas and documentation handled and taken care of, having your permits to stay in the land, and all this kind of stuff. And in our previous missions moment last month, we mentioned a prayer request was pray for our documentation. So we had to dedicate an entire day to going to Milan to get Jerry V's passport renewed. Next week, we'll be going to the U.S. consulate. Thankfully, we can do it here in Venice and not have to travel to Milan, which is about a almost 3-hour drive with no traffic and no stops. And then after that, we also have upcoming is renewing our permesso, it's basically like a green card type thing to stay here in Italy for the whole family. We had to update that. So it's not fun, but it's stuff that has to happen. It costs money, it costs time, but it's part of the ministry stuff that just needs to happen. So here's a little glimpse into our travel and the things we experienced as we went to get Jeremy's passport renewed. Chichi as well, Cornelius too. So here we were actually stuck in traffic. What we mentioned there was that we're stuck in traffic for an hour and a half, just stopped on the highway because of an accident. And if you know anything about Italians, real Italians here in Italy, they drive like race car drivers. It's really astonishing. I feel like an old man when I drive the car because they drive fast. If there's somebody in front of you, in the Italian mind, that means you have to find a way to get around them. It's really astonishing. Even the old ladies drive fast. And on the highway, it's just unbelievable. If you're in the left lane, they'll get literally just inches away from your bumper until you get out of the way and move over so they can go around you. And then someone is just this like constantly changing thing where you have to go around each other, and it can be really hectic. And there were numerous occasions on this trip we were stuck in traffic because of an accident, and numerous occasions where we almost got into an accident because someone almost hit us, or right in front of us they hit each other almost. It's just crazy on the highway here in Italy. Actually probably not good for my heart pressure and all that, but in any case, thank the Lord we made it there and we made it back, and we were 2 hours late and they were still able to get our stuff taken care of. Here we are in front of the Filipino consulate. There's one of the trams in the city of Milan. Interestingly, they have old trams here in the city of Milan. In our city here in Venice, we got nice new ones. And what's amazing here to me is here we had an occasion to have some Filipino food. At the Filipino consulate, it's a really special experience. It's a nice experience. Different than the American consulate, which is very serious. The American consulate is very serious. And you can't laugh, you can't joke. Everything's very serious. They're making sure you're legitimate. And one person at a time goes in, and you have an appointment. If you're late, you're not allowed in. Here, we show up 2 hours late. They still let us in. It's like an open door policy. Now, if you don't know this about the Filipino people, they potentially are the most friendly and hospitable people on the planet. The most friendly and hospitable people group potentially on the entire planet. There's something special about the Filipino people. They're very fun, they're very lighthearted, they're very sympathetic, caring kind of folks. And it's a wonderful experience when you go to the consulate there because they help you out, they work with you, they make sure everything is good. They saw we had 2 little ones and I had to go and change a diaper, and they're very accommodating, helping us out. And then afterwards, as you see here in this clip right now, they even, the Filipino people, is no problem for them. Outside, they have their own street food truck that comes up, and they sell Filipino food for all the Filipinos longing for some of the authentic stuff from back home in the Philippines. So there's a number of people in the Milan, Filipino people in Milan, working and living there. They do a work abroad thing often from the Philippines, where Filipinos go abroad, work, send money home, and then eventually make their way back to the Philippines. But they work abroad a lot. And here, this was a really fun experience for me. And we had some good Filipino food. If you don't know the Filipino food, it's really special. It's really yummy. I love it. And this was a fun experience. So we did lunch there when we got done, after she got her documents approved and the passport taken and all that. And then we'll see in a second. We also had something for me, a first time thing that I had here. I think it's in the clip. There's Chichi. He's having his, here it is. This is a halo. It's the Filipino version of ice cream or gelato. Very special. It's got coconut milk, I believe, or condensed milk in there, ice, and all these different, I think it's a purple sweet potato, some kind of panna, and then different fruit chunks and different things inside there. And they're teaching me how to do it. You got to mix it up. So I'm mixing it up and I'm eating it. And it was really sensational. Really, really enjoyed this. And Chichi had some as well. First time for both of us, for him and for me. Great experience. And here we are on the way home, taking a break because we were exhausted from all the hot time in the car and driving. Bea stretching her legs. Chichi too. Mommy. And here we are at an auto grill where we stopped. Didn't go in this one, we just stopped to stretch our legs. And then Chi Chi found a place also to a little playground area. Yeah, being silly like he likes to do. Okay, so that's that, guys. That's the family update. I think we closed the family update section with that.